This is going to be fun. This is what you can expect to see in this video. I'm Melissa, and this is CraftCrumbs. Thank you for joining me. I have 4 very different from scratch DIYs to help us bring in the spring season. I'm starting with this first one where I'm using 2 of these pieces of plexiglass from the Dollar Tree. For now, I'm keeping the film on the back side of the plexiglass and taping off the edges so I can color them in with my metallic gold paint marker. The idea of keeping the film on the back is simply because I don't trust myself not to totally flub this up. I'm sorry that you can see my ceiling light there in the reflection. I don't know why I didn't turn it off. It's not like I need it. Just a memory fart, I guess. I'm peeling this tape back right away just in case I have anything I need to clean up, but it gave me a pretty clean line. I'm going to reuse that tape on the second piece, and while that first one's drying, we're going to go ahead and move forward, and then you'll see we come back to it in just a minute. Going back to that first piece, I'm going to once again reuse the tape at the top and bottom, and then we'll repeat it on the second piece. This will give us a nice metallic gold edge all the way around the rectangles. This one turns out so sweet, and it sets the tone for the rest of the video, so stick with me. Now that those edges are complete and nice and dry, I want to add something to the front of these. I had these 2 vellum pieces from a Tim Holtz collection that I picked up at Hobby Lobby a while back. These flowers are so beautiful. I don't know what kind of flowers they are. If you can see here and know what they are, let me know. Let us all know. And I'm just going to take a little bit of my white Elmer's glue and a sponge and just tap, tap, tap that right onto the back there and give it a nice even coat to apply this to the plexiglass. Here I'm just putting the 2 pieces side by side to make sure that I have the flowers attached at the same height on each. Just going to go ahead and clean up any little remnants of glue that I can see peeking out. There really isn't much because of the way that it was done. And then I wipe off some of the fingerprints that I left on the vellum. And this is what they look like so far. I'm going to go ahead and take that plexiglass cover off the back. How many monkeys does it take to pull the backing off of this thing? I'm going to touch up the areas that need it with my metallic paint pen and let that dry. Okay, everything's dry. I'm going to close these 2 pieces so that they sandwich together. And I'm going to tape them together so that they don't move and shift on me, just using a small piece of painter's tape to keep everything in place. You'll see why. And now using a small drill bit, I'm going to drill a hole at the top and bottom about a 1/2 inch from each end. That dirt that I'm cleaning up, that was already on the drill bit. It didn't come out of the plexiglass, I promise. We're going to peel that back, and I'm just going to take a look at the holes to make sure that everything looks nice and neat. That's what it looks like, if you could actually see that. Touch up again. So this is some gold twine that I had left over from Christmas, and I'm going to try to feed that through those holes. I realized right away that that hole's not large enough, and that's just fine by me. I just pulled the 2 pieces that twist together apart to Get a little thinner to be able to go through. Getting each end in through the back of the plexiglass and through the front. Just like that. I swear my hands have not been working these days. It's just too cold in Pennsylvania. Now I'm just going to tie this into a nice, neat little bow. And this is what it looks like. It's very functional. If you want to store it away, you can fold it backwards and it doesn't take up any space at all. You can give this as a hand-delivered gift by placing it inside an envelope. This is what it looks like complete. Here it is next to the vase we created in the last video. I love how elegant this piece looks, and it can't hurt that it was also affordable, fast, and easy to make. If you like this one, would you give me a thumbs up on it, please, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. I think Maisie is confusing her role as channel mascot with supervisor because she's really micromanaging today. I'm taking this piece of scrapbook paper. She approved it. I assure you she's okay with this choice. I'm going to mark the middle at the top and bottom. I'm going to make an envelope out of this paper. If you've made a ton of these, you may not even need to mark. I have not made a ton of these, so I don't want to mess it up. I'm just going to crease it and kind of get the folds right. There are multiple ways to make an envelope, so just use whatever method works best for you. The working conditions around here are mortifying. Wait for it. No appreciation whatsoever. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to make this envelope. I think part of it is just trying to remember what folds to make where. I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue right to that outer edge and then stick it down. And then I don't want this peeking up and getting in the way, so we'll glue that down as well. And just to age it a bit, I'm going to ink the edges. Let's put a hole in the top. I created a second envelope in paper with corresponding colors, and now I'm going to add a hanger to these. Here I'm showing you that the patterned paper is more substantial, and I will tell you that it was actually a lot harder to fold and maneuver as well. It takes me a few seconds to figure out how I'm going to attach these two. I want one to cascade over top of the other without it being too bulky. There we go. I'm going to start to fill this up with lamb's ear and some florals. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this because we're so close to Valentine's Day. I'm going to start first with this first option, just putting the lamb's ear in here with some of these hearts from the Dollar Tree. And then in the final reveal, I'll show you what it looks like with spring flowers. I think I'm going to glue these together with just a small amount of hot glue so they hang the way I want them to. And now flipping it over to the back side, I'm going to glue this ribbon down again so it hangs the way I want it to. Here she is with Valentine's Day vibes and spring vibes. This can be changed out with the season. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. I'm putting the measurements on the screen for this next project, but I'm going to tell you what they are as we go as well. This is a complete from scratch build, and you've seen me do this on the channel before. If you haven't, you might not be subscribed, and if you want to see more, click the subscribe button. I cut 9 5-gallon paint sticks down, each at 10 inches. I cut a birch log from Hobby Lobby down into 3 pieces, 2 each at 13 inches and 1 at 8¼ inches. I'm going to butt 2 of those birch logs up against one of the paint sticks and attach them with my nail gun. This is a nail and staple gun, so you could really use the nails or staples in it. I wanted to use the nails for this project just to make it look a little bit more professional. You see me using my hammer to tap those brads in, and that's just because the birch wood is a little bit harder than what that portable nail gun can handle, or what my wrist can handle, I should say that, because it might come down to my own personal strength or lack thereof. But it's never a problem just to tap those little brads in. So you can see that I have attached those slats with just a smidge of space, probably not even a 1/4 inch between them. And you can just watch this piece come together. Now for this top handle, this is where I'm attaching the 8¼ inch birch wood piece. And I'm not using any nails for this. I'm just going to do glue. I originally thought that I might put screws in it after the glue dried, but it's holding up just fine without the screws, so I figured why have the extra eyesore of a screw head there. The wood glue did the job just fine. Oh gosh, look who's back inspecting the work. No respect. I'm going to dry brush some antiquing wax over the top of these wood embellishments, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and rub off the excess. To attach it, I'm going to first find the center and then use my wood glue, super glue from the Dollar Tree to adhere it. I'm going to pull out some of my canvas fabric and cut down 2 small pieces to go on the inside of the basket. Everything that you see me do on one side of the basket, I'm going to repeat on the opposite side. I'm going to use more wood glue and just dab it on the fabric so that I can slide it down in, and then use my ruler to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and up against the slats. This is a piece of trim that I cut off the canvas fabric, and I'm cutting it down to fit so that it will cover up those rough edges and give it a nice finish. I used my Dollar Tree clamps to hold them in place while they dry, and then probably about 15 minutes later I come back. Let's dry brush it with a little bit of white acrylic paint. Let's add a little more antiquing wax to that wood embellishment. I'm going to add some washi tape, but before I do, I'm going to take a sponge and just go over the surface of the wood with a little bit of Mod Podge, lay the washi tape down, and then go over the washi tape as well with Mod Podge. This washi came from Journal Say, They recently reached out to me and asked if I would like to do an unboxing for my audience. And they let me go onto their website and choose $100 worth of product to do the unboxing. And while I have filmed it for you, I still haven't edited it. So I have to do that and then I'll bring that to you. But in the meantime, if you would like to see their products and make a purchase, I'm going to include a link in the description with a code, and if you use that code, you'll get 8% off your order. And then just keep an eye out for the unboxing. I filled 2 of these little Dollar Tree jars with the cork lids up with some dried flowers from my stash, wrapped some twine around it, and I'm using it to hang on the handle of this piece. It's very bright, I know. I don't want any of you to be shy. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. Hopefully you don't need sunglasses to look at it. For this next one, I'm using 2 of these wood pieces from the Dollar Tree. I had placed a piece of rice paper over this using Mod Podge and then sliced it down the middle to separate the two. And now I'm just going to sand off these edges and use that same sandpaper to gently distress it. Let's go in with a little more Mod Podge around those edges to make sure they stay down. I have this really pretty ribbon that I picked up from Temu a while back. It's a burgundy color, but it has this gold gilding flakes appearance in it. And I'm going to glue a piece of that around each of the sides. In hindsight, I think the double-sided tape would have worked better for this step. You'll see in just a sec that I made 2 knot bows out of the same ribbon for the top corners. As you can see, Miss Sassy Pants is back to govern my every move. I want to attach this little butterfly. I don't know where I bought this butterfly. I may have gotten it from the Dollar Tree last year. It's been in my stash for at least a year. But this is more washi tape from Journal Say. I'm going to cut down a few pieces and cover the butterfly. Let's put a sticker on it. I'm going to use this butterfly to bind the 2 pieces together. I'm placing 2 or 3 craft sticks between the slats just to make sure I maintain equal space as I glue this down. I'm going to take my pencil and kind of outline this so I know where I want the glue to be. Let's add additional support. I clamped everything down, set it aside for about 15 minutes, and when I came back, it still needed a little more support at the bottom. As a final step, I'm going to add 2 of these mini wood clothespins so that we can add other elements like photographs or odds and ends from your junk journaling. And here it is complete. What do you think about this one? Is it giving fall vibes? I hope not. If it is, who cares? You should always craft what you love and never be held captive by the season. Here's a look back at what we created today. Your time is so precious to me. Thank you for spending it here. If you're in the mood for more, click on this video next. Before you head out, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, friend, don't forget to craft what you love.